Yeah, welcome to the podcast. Today we're talking AI, data science, machine learning. We've got Sarah Choudhary. Here she is, Sarah Choudhary, innovative leader in AI, machine learning, data science. Here's her website, sarahchoudhary.com. She's got blog articles. She's a Forbes Technology Council member. And wow, she's got an incredible story. Let's go to her LinkedIn. So I met Sarah in 2019. We worked together on her role at Arch Insurance. But prior to that, let's go back in time here. So she started as a technical consultant, basically an ETL developer for Safeway Insurance in 2004. She spent a lot of time in the insurance industry, Farmers, and then, Duke Energy, Duke Clinical Research, Spectrum, formerly Time Warner Cable, AbbVie, Cisco, Accenture, BB&T, then Arch Insurance. That's when we met. And then COVID hit and we lost touch. And then she was a director of AI and machine learning at Ernst Young for 4 years. And after that, she's now started several companies of her own, and we'll talk about those. I'm excited to chat with her. Let's dive in. Welcome to the podcast, Sarah.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Blake.
Yeah, I'm excited to have you. Until recently, my gosh, the last time we spoke was pre-COVID. We worked together on this.
Yes, pre-COVID. Yeah, exactly.
I think COVID, that's kind of when we lost touch. Like I had twins, life got
Yes.
crazy. Then you left Arch and went to Ernst and
Mm,
Young. And then next thing I know, cut two, you have this huge personal brand here and you got your PhD, you're a Forbes
mhm.
Council member. And I was like, holy moly, you've been busy. So I was excited to have you on the podcast. We do a couple warm-up questions normally, and they're
Mhm.
super easy ones here. Just wanted to ask, what's your favorite movie and what's your favorite band or music?
Okay, so I am not the music person at all. Um, but I like some kind of music based on what my mood is. So, not understanding much of that. This is the only thing I don't have much grasp or understanding, because sometime if I'm listening music, I just listen based on my mood, and the other person, oh, did you see the how the tones are, how the this? I can't understand that thing. That's the only thing. But as for movie perspective, two of the movies I really like it. One is The Pianist.
This is the greatest pianist in Poland, maybe the whole world.
No one plays Chopin like you.
And one, Life is Beautiful.
Meet a real-life Prince Charming. He has met the woman of his dreams, and he'll do everything in his power to sweep her off her feet. Now, his fairy tale life takes a serious turn.
I love that both of those movies. Both are on the an amazing thing is that both are on the same topic. That was on a Holocaust, but the how they directed, how the actors act over there, the drama they created and over there, it was so amazing, and I love both of those movies.
Yeah, I've seen The Pianist. That's a great movie right there. That's a heart.
Oh, it is.
It'll pull at your heartstrings. But I haven't seen Life is Beautiful. I need to add that one to my list.
It's the same topic, but that's a kind of emotional kind of like as well. But there is a lot of other movies as well. I watch Bollywood movies. There's some good ones over there as well. But I love enjoying, watching, going to theater, and that's my best time to go relax. That's the only thing when I relax, I go to theater. Otherwise, I'm always stay in unrelaxed mode or hyper mode or something. So yeah, I enjoy the movies.
Are you watching any shows on Netflix or Amazon or anything?
Yeah, I do watch some of the shows whenever I get time. I watched that red light, green light one. What was that? Squid Games.
감당할 수 없는 빚을 지고 삶의 벼랑 끝에 서 계신 분들입니다.
무궁화 꽃이 피었습니다입니다.
Oh, yeah,
Squid Games, yeah.
yeah.
I love that
I
one.
watched that. I really love those. But the last one, I think that was a more kind of like a realistic based that I couldn't tolerate. So I only watched the first season.
Oh, I didn't know there was a second season. I need to up my Netflix account again. I normally just hop around to the streaming services based
Mhm.
on what I want to watch, and that, I'll just binge on whatever it is, cancel it, move to the next
Okay.
streaming service.
Yeah.
I do like
s-
the Bollywood movies are showing up at American movie theaters quite a bit lately, and just showing
mhm.
up in your feed. And some of the
Okay.
Bollywood comedies, like the action comedy movies, are so funny.
Mhm.
They're absurd. Like the heroes that and the fight scenes, they just go so over the
Oh yeah,
top.
fight scenes are actually very. They made it very serious.
Yeah.
But when I sit with my daughter and watch it, she said, "Oh my God, that's so funny." I said, "They are very serious about it."
Yeah, yeah. There's a big
They can
market
hit with
for it.
one punch the whole of the whole, people. So
Yeah.
Khiladi's back! गायब कर चुका हूं मैं
Yeah, stuff like that, it cracks me up. I totally understand their humor. So, yeah, well, let's dive into your story a little bit. Can we go back, let's go back
Mhm.
pre-COVID, pre-2019. Can you tell us
Yeah.
your story?
Well, I'm in this industry, as you know, we last time we connected. So I'm in here in data and most in data for last is now it's been 20 years. Prior to that, like since last 5, 6 years, especially when my exposure was with EY and Ernst Young, I more go into the leadership roles and some management as well. Prior to that, I was in development and also working as an engineer. When you become a leader, especially in the data technology space, you get more opportunity and lead diverse kind of a teams and transformation projects if you already have done a lot of hands-on. I was very lucky. I work on Python, I work on databases, I work as a data analyst, I work as a DBA role as well, senior leader in analytics, and also the forefront of the development as well, and implement a lot of AI driven strategies that was not only streamlined project but also kind of like revenue streams for the organizations. So I have worked with Accenture prior to that as a consultant for 2, 3 years. Worked with Duke University as a ETL developer. Worked with a lead ETL for Accenture for the I think Time Warner Cable. Now it's called Spectrum, I guess. And also worked with merger acquisitions projects with Duke Energy and Progress Energy, and then AbbVie to Abbott Laboratories when AbbVie was separated from Abbott. So me and my team were the kind of like a front line on this acquisition merger and doing. I was more kind of like a technology analyst. So I do the analysis of the Abbott side and AbbVie side and technology assessment and did what exactly we make to make changes in the AbbVie. That was very successful project, and it was a learning opportunity as well. I think every project is learning opportunity for you wherever you work.
No doubt. Yeah, I wanted to dive into your time there, Ernst& and Young, because it seems like that's when you kind of
Mhm.
springboarded into this new adventure into AI. But before that, tell us about how you landed in North Carolina, of all places. This is going back, I was on your website, like 2004,
Mhm.
2011 time frame.
Yeah, so I actually came first in St. Louis, Missouri, stay there for 1.5 year, and then for the projects I go to Dallas, Texas as well. But landed in North Carolina was a blend of career opportunity and also some personal choices as well. I am originally from Pakistan, so I was initially based in other part of countries, working in tech industries. In Dallas, I had a farmer insurance where I worked first. That was my first job in here in 2004, and then I went into another insurance, most kind of like a work as a contractor. So when some roles came up in North Carolina, especially the most attractive taken here was a RTP and my admission in North Carolina State University as a master program. So that's the main reason why I moved in here. Beyond the professional allure, North Carolina also appealed me personally as well because of a very good diverse kind of like a technical community, landscapes, and great quality life is there for both my career and family. So moving there is one of the best decision I have made so far, and it helps me and provided me a lot of a good platform to grow professionally, and also it offer a kind of like a very warm environment to live in.
Yeah, I love North Carolina. You picked a good spot. When we first met, you were into ETL and data
Mhm.
analytics for ours.
Yeah.
And I don't even think they were using you to your full potential at all. Cause that, I mean, and that's kind of when you
Mm.
decided to do your data science,
Yes.
mini, like the micro master's program at MIT. What made you choose that? And what was that micro master's program like?
I'm the personality that doesn't make kind of like future plans like after 5 years, 6 years. It's go by the flow as well. I completed my MBA and I was thinking to move into project management. Plus, I'm a very technical kind of person. I always want to, understand, do more analysis. On my disc assessment, I'm kind of like high D. So more kind of like a driver person. So, but after 10 years ago, when I did my disc assessment, so it's a basically driver, or you can be analyst or influencer. I was more analyst, and I think with the time, how I work in the projects, meet different people that allow you to grow professionally, and also there's a several projects that make you understand and like open a new world. Because I work as a data engineer whole my life, in first 10 years of my life, especially a DBA or data engineer analysis and all this stuff. So data science is the next step. So you can say there is a different domain, but how you can make this data more useful and how you can make it kind of like a more revenue perspective, growth perspective, that where data scientists came in. Python is my favorite language. You can scroll the data, you can see what there is so many necessary skills like TensorFlow. That's one of my AI kind of like machine learning tools, and then create a different sets of those data and then explore it and make something else based on the business goals. You can also manage resource effectively and also navigate some of the challenges you have in the leading projects in the dynamic environments. So that was what made me understand. And first I started a course from MIT, for it was just like a short master course where I learned more statistics over there. And meanwhile, I got an opportunity. Why don't I do the PhD? And I then started PhD in data science because I wanted to do more into the research. So my dissertation was life expectancy in North Carolina, especially in USA, and the future prediction. It was going good. I started in 2019 end, but when COVID hit, my data was messed up because if there is any pandemic coming in the future, how we are going to add that variable. And also it impacts a lot for people's lives. So after COVID, actually the data sets, you see there was a lot of graphs came up, like in this area the COVID is high and low, this all because of this data science thing. So this was a main motives that I decided to pursue PhD in data science, and that experience actually allowed me to explore a cutting edge of AI and machine learning, conducting some original researches and also contribute in this field in meaningful way. And the process of conducting these researches also give me ability to tackle some complex problems, work with different kind of data sets. It could be pictures, it could be a kind of like a PDFs or something like that, and also develop some kind of innovative algorithms.
So it's crazy that you were looking at life expectancy data and then COVID hits.
Yeah.
And so was there anything interesting that you saw happen in the data when COVID
Mhm.
hit? And then
Yes.
how long did you follow it?
For 2 years, my PhD was started as for 3 years program, but it took me 4 years because of the process of the conducting this kind of like researches. I use a quantitative research first, mostly getting the data from U.S. Census, healthcare, and for example, urban areas in Raleigh or Charlotte tended to have kind of like a higher life expectancy, and also, for example, compared to the rural regions. And this sparked actually my curiosity about the underlying factors contributing to these kind of differences. So I explored further and I found out additional data sets or those factors, for example, healthcare, income levels, and education, and also environmental conditions. I found the areas with better access to healthcare facilities, definitely, and higher educational attainment, and also higher median incomes tends to have longer life expectancies versus the regions with higher rates of poverty and also lower education levels or access, and limited access to the healthcare services also shows the shorter lifespans. There was a hypothesis of how education affects those regions. Better opportunity for education also goes through the better income rates as well, and also your financial situation. I think that's also affects a lot. So I conducted actually more detailed analysis, including some regression models to identify the what would be the strongest predictors for life expectancy within the state or in the USA itself. So I map the data geographically to visually illustrate there as some disparities and identify any patterns that related to those locations. So, and one of the very particular aspect I look into was the role of healthcare access. I noticed that even small increases in access to preventive care services has a noticeable impact on life expectancy in some underserved areas. So that insight actually led me to explore potential policies, implications in that area, for example, expansion of healthcare services in rural areas, and also its significant effect on improving the healthcares and their outcomes as well. No kind of like want to be political, but yeah, this is what I figure out.
Yeah, yeah. Well, hopefully that's something AI will be able to help with is just that access
Mhm.
piece, right? If you can have an AI doctor on your phone that will
Mhm.
check in, maybe you have to have a meeting once a month and it looks at, okay, how often did you exercise? What have you been eating? How much time do you spend outside?
Yeah.
um, Stuff like that. So maybe that will have a positive impact on just overall health.
Yes, I did some kind of research on it because we can use AI everywhere. We can, but there is some, you can say it called like ethical consideration also came up in the AI, where you can't use AI doctors or AI judges everywhere, but there could be assistants that would be helpful for doctors. For example, if you would be doctor, you would go for the whole the patient background, what exactly diseases he has. But if what AI can do is, as your assistant, he can grab all the data and give you a kind of like underscoring the upcoming probably prediction of the healthcare, where the doctor can look into that and address basically how it interconnect with his current healthcare, and also he can use that data to eliminate these kind of connections, and also it will be helpful for doctor to for a guiding effort to create meaningful changes in their prescription or something like that.
I'm sure there's like HIPAA stuff you got to worry about, but like as an individual that,
Mhm.
controls access to my healthcare data, I wonder if it will be permission based. Like, hey, sign this form and AI can look at all your health data. Like
Yeah,
it's up to
exactly.
you, right?
Yes, yeah.
But I'm sure that all the powers that be will make it harder than it needs to be. Like they'll be, oh no, we can't
Mhm.
allow that, right? There's too much liability and blah blah blah. It's like no. Just if people want it, let them do it.
Yeah, yeah,
But
exactly. So there is a definitely tremendous kind of a potentials for assist the doctors and transform the healthcare in significant way. It has some benefits and also some challenges. For example, as I mentioned, enhanced diagnostic accuracy, and there could be a personalized treatment plans for everyone. Is because if two people have the same disease, it's not necessary that both should have the same treatment plans, because we have to see what the background of that person, where from it comes, what kind of a tolerance level of that person, or how much toxicity in that specific patient. So these kind of things, and it will be time saving and efficiency. That's a very critical factor in the healthcare. If you get some diagnosis early or time, you can live longer. And also predictive analytics is one of the very critical thing. For example, AI system can monitor patient data in real time and alerts doctor to potential problems like an impending heart attack or stroke, and it can allow them for a timely intervention in that one. Yeah, but you mentioned as a data privacy and security with the AI system handling this kind of like a sensitive information for like patient data or HIPAA or something like that, there could be risk of data breaches, and we would like to make sure the privacy and security of the patient information is a significant concern that must be carefully managed. And heavily dependence on technology is also one of a critical lead to a significant problem. It could be maybe overlooking on the clinical judgment or something. And one of the thing I actively working in bias in AI algorithms. AI systems are only good as the data are trained on, but if the training data consists of some biases, the AI might take those kind of like a biases into recommendation, and this can lead into unequal treatment or misdiagnosis, or especially kind of like underrepresented groups or something like that. And cost is one of the thing. Integrating AI into healthcare system also involve a lot of cost.
Yeah, we talked about bias in AI, and
Mhm.
especially in recruiting in the past on this podcast.
Yeah.
And there's like two sides of it, because if you're in a minority group, then
Mm.
you're afraid of AI and bias because of there's historical data there. But if you're a white male, for example, you're also afraid of the bias and the rules set in place from DEI initiatives. So, like, if you're a 50-year-old white male right now looking for a job, you're kind of screwed because no one wants to hire you. They're looking for the DEI candidate. So it's like we're damned if we do and damned if we don't. And I wish we would just make all these systems like completely colorblind, no
Yes.
DEI rules, none at all. Just whitewash all the factors that would be illegal just based on the law, and just have it follow those rules, and not like tinker with, oh, well, we really want a female here, or we really want, this race here. And it's just like, let's just get rid of all that. You know what I mean? And just choose the best person for the job.
Yes, I actually created one of the actively work on that as well. One of the HR kind of algorithms where we will scan a lot of resumes, and based on those resumes, we will find out what exactly business need is, and according to that, we will find the best resume. The thing is that over here is whenever we implement such kind of algorithms like scanning the resume, for example, as I mentioned, HR algorithm, we typically use NLP, which is language processing, and machine
Mm-hmm.
learning to analyze the resumes. They scan for keywords that match the job description, evaluate the structure of the resume, and even assess the language used to gauge the applicant's communication skills. Here is comes again. For example, if applicant is like me, I'm a bilingual, or if applicant is new in the country, but he is really very, let's say company is hiring for data scientist position, HR algorithm might find a programmer who have a really amazing skills in Python and work with the great companies, but on there he found some kind of a errors in the resume itself, like spelling error or something. When resume is submitted, it will definitely take it out, but it depends how you train the data. You can skip that part and say, okay, how many mistakes has come up, is just give you a kind of a report like this is what we get it from this resume. There is something that I learned from that: we shouldn't over reliance on the keywords. Resume might be filtered out if it doesn't use the exact keywords in the algorithm is programmed to look for example, if candidate is highly qualified and someone might list statistical analysis instead of data analysis, and the algorithm might miss it and it will just take it away. And there could be a lack of context as well. So there is a potential of bias all the time if the training data used to develop the algorithm contains some kind of like biases. There can be an issue in the hiring process. For example, the algorithm has been trained to resumes with the male workforce that you mentioned. It might be favor resumes that reflect certain gender, language, or experience. I have worked with some of open source development programs where they are adding a lot of different dictionaries with the ethical standpoints. So whenever we create our LLM, we add those kind of ethical standards. They are for HR. There are heavily research going on in this specific set. So make sure that whenever we train the data is going good. And I was seeing today a very funny thing on LinkedIn. They say that they need someone with experience of 30 years in the specific tool, but the person shouldn't be more than 30 years old.
Yeah. I see
So,
nonsense like that all the time. Yeah.
yeah.
Entry level, but you need 5 years experience in this industry, but it's entry level. It's like, okay.
Wow. Yeah.
That's a tough one there. It's a sensitive topic, but I think we'll be able to easily figure that out. Just training the AI to ignore things that they shouldn't consider a factor. But I'm wondering, if you let the natural language processor look at a resume, can it tell, regardless of the name, can it tell if it's a male or a female just by the language that it's using in the resume?
So it's depend on what kind of training you did. Is it supervised training or unsupervised training? Usually, as an engineer or data scientist, we would do unsupervised training first. Just for a example, unsupervised is something like where we, for example, if we are identifying a cat, we will train the data and give them all the animals and ask them what is the cat in that, and then see what exact it takes out the cat. If we see like it is taking the real cat out of a cat, this means now we can train the supervise. Now we can train it supervised training as like, okay, the cat has 2 ears, cats sound like that, or cats has the specific characteristics. That's a supervised. So yes, HR algorithms can sometime infer the gender of candidate by analyzing the language used in resume. This arises some kind of a significant ethical concerns because these algorithms are not explicitly, you can say, designed for this. For example, if algorithm is using the information to make decisions, it can introduce a gender bias in hiring process. For example, if an algorithm have been trained on data from a company where men were historical more likely to be hired, it might learn in favor of resumes that use language pattern associated with men. So
Mm.
even if the company is not consciously trying to hire more men, so yes, it can be, as I mentioned, like it depends how you do it. Some resume might include gender specific information, for example, membership in gender focused professional organization. When we train the AI, so it pick up a subtle differences in the languages that can correlate with gender. For instance, research has shown that women are more likely to use communal language emphasizing teamwork and collaboration, while men might use more agentic kind of a language highlighting the individual achievements and leadership. So phrases like collaborated with, assisted in, or worked on a team too are statistically more likely to appear in resumes for women, while phrases like led a team, managed, or executed might be more common in resumes for men. And this is the AI automatically figure that out by doing the analysis. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's say, for example, like right now in today's market, if I have two candidates, they both have 12 years of experience, they've worked at similar job titles, similar industries, similar skill sets, like almost identical. One's a male, one's a female. Like
Hmm.
I would assign more value to the female and more marketability to the female, especially in tech, because everybody, they want more women in tech. So if I had to pick one candidate to move forward with and only one, then I would definitely choose the female to present them. If AI was given the choice based on historical data, it may choose
Hmm.
the male. So who do you want to use? Do you want to use AI, or do you want to use, hyperdrive recruiting?
Yeah, I understand. Algorithm might, infer gender from the resume's language while addressing the ethical implications, but it's also important as well that we go it by the human eyes as well. Once this be, establish more kind of like if we will have more going by the human flagging process where they can flag it if the specific results are that's come from the AI is also, something kind of like review process. So yeah, I think that could be something that we need to establish in the future, especially in the technological environment. We don't have much data for AI. We are still learning. We are in the same, like when we COVID came, we were told not to go out, and even some people I say that they do not pick the Amazon package out of 4 or 5 days, and then they spray it and then bring inside, right? Later we realized that it didn't work. So because we are still learning, it will take some time, not much, probably 6 to 7 months. You will see a lot of changes in the technology, in the law itself as well, that this is a legally AI or this is not. One of very interesting thing, I one of my friend, he mentioned about, he work in Silicon Valley. They are trying to, it is a not kind of like a, secret or something, but it's a, even kind of like a very open, he would do the publish as well. So he mentioned that you see the deepfake where people deepfake the celebrity and use the celebrity name because it looks like celebrity is talking, but actually the celebrity is not talking. They just deepfake them and then spread out the information. Now they can control it because a lot of people can have, use that technology, but they are trying to legalizing gays. So how they can legalize is, they will ask celebrity to let their deepfake, they have a price of their deepfake, and if someone use their deepfake without their consent and they're paying them, it could be something legal action we can take against them. So that's a one of the example. And also you can see in the self-driving cars, like this is a one is a great example as well, how AI and tech get better with the time in the development of self-driving cars. So early iteration were very limited to the technology, but now with the AI is very easy to navigate the simple and control environment, but also with a complex scenario. For example, if there's a heavy traffic and unpredictable type of pedestrian behavior or kind of like adverse weather conditions, so these kind of a data keep inserting in self-driving cars is also very helpful.
Yeah, very interesting. I was just thinking while you were talking there, because the deep fake thing, it's like I was just thinking, man, I should make a deep fake of myself and try to license it. However, I can, yeah, you use me as your avatar, and
Yes, they
you know,
can have a like they can list it out all the celebrities, YouTuber, podcaster who you want to defake, and people can bid on you like, okay, I want to defake for you for the specific content. Are you allow this content to be defake with you or something? You will allow it, put your price on, and then yeah,
yeah,
it's
you put
opportunity for everyone.
turn my face into a digital like blockchain where if it recognizes me
Yes.
anywhere on the internet and they
Uh-huh.
haven't registered in the Ethereum contract, it
Yes.
automatically bills them or something like that. So yeah, that's an interesting problem to try to solve. Now, talking about deepfakes and AI, I was wanting to ask you about your PhD program because it's pretty fresh, right? You just kind of went through it and graduated last year. Are you able to use AI in your homework, like Gen AI in your assignments, or do they have tools in place where they like strictly prohibit that?
Unfortunately, I was not in that time when they're all introduced, especially ChatGPT. My graduation was before the ChatGPT launched, so I was unlucky one. Otherwise, I would choose that. uh,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, but yes, for now, as ethical standpoint to help with the homework, you remember the plagiarism, how they check, like if you have taken the, now if you see there are some tools, even you can see humanize.ai. So it is a tool where you can see if the specific content is written by ChatGPT or by human. So now they are that kind of like a plagiarism check they have. So AI is a helpful tool. They allow students to use it for, because earlier how we do the research, we go by Google, we go by read the book, we all the stuff. But now if you want to read the books, you don't want to read the book, but you have to read the book in the literature or something like that. You can always make points out of that using AI, text comparison, and kind of like paraphrase it or something. So in the colleges and universities, they are doing AI check as well on the assignments, and there is some language and writing flags, like how AI assistant based kind of like a specific writings, quality of understanding, and there's something ethical use of basically for educators and students both of that. But you can't stop it, but they allow it on the specific level, but they also want student to use, especially in writing their own writings and understanding the content itself. If everything you made it by AI, then what are you going to be learn? And they make it more kind of like a practice test as well, more frequent. Instead of doing every month, they are doing weekly basis. So these kind of a things, and also some awareness. I heard about that some university also started the awareness kind of a seminar for students, where they tell AI can help students, but it also can give you a wrong or false information that might not tailor with your education content, that how university is providing you.
Yeah. Do you remember those books called Cliff Notes?
Hmm.
It was like book summaries. If for people who didn't want to read
Yes.
the whole book,
Yes, they
I
go.
just
They used to sell that. Yeah.
yeah, it just occurred to me AI put Cliff Notes out of business real fast. So
Yes, or super
yeah,
fast.
yeah, overnight, immediately, no
Mhm.
more Cliff Notes.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your time there at Ernst& Young. You talked about it a little bit, some of the projects you're
Mhm.
involved in.
So with Ernst and Young, I have worked some of the really amazing project because I was on AI ops, and we did some kind of like a predictive maintenance. So one of the biggest achievement was creating a chat bot. We were using some services from IBM where there was a doing amazing job, but the thing is that we wanted to use some kind of a chat GPT bot where it analyze all of your data from Power BI reports, and then it do the predictive analytics on that one. For example, if we have a specific reports which tells us sales in the, let's say, in Europe, this in specific country in the Europe for all the computers, and we create a report like this much sales has happened, this has happened. Let's say client is asking in within the prompt in the chat box, like, can you tell me what could be the sale for next 2 years? And based on the data, our chatbot was easily optimize the inventory management, and also it tells the sales forecasting and what sector where timing and inventory management are crucial. Even the small and efficiency, it can lead to be a some kind of financial loss. So these kind of a detail it give you. So that was one of the really very successful project. It saved a lot of tons of dollars as well. And then we start begin by gathering vast amounts of historical say, data, customer, for example, behaviors, seasonal trends, and external factors as well. We use several indicators like economical indicators and patterns for the stock exchange, for example. So we develop a very unique machine learning model over there that could predict the future outcomes on high degree of accuracy. So this is one of the great project I have worked over there. Other than that, I work with some clients. I work with Lexmark, Oak Street Health, with some other domains as well.
Very cool. Yeah, as you were talking there, I was like, AI just eliminated 100,000 FP&A analyst jobs because if the CEO of a company or the CFO can just basically use a chat bot and do all their financial projections for the quarter, the year, 2 years, they don't need FP&A anymore because
Exactly. Yeah.
that's what
Yeah.
that
A
is.
lot of things. Yeah. It chat GPT make you more productive. Some people they say, okay, if everything that would be doing, for example, everything AI going to be doing, or this chatbot is going to doing, what we are gonna do, something like that, right?
Right. Yeah.
So the thing is that we can do more productive things. For example, one of the I give everyone example because I invested myself in that specific technology. I want, others people to know learn more about that. Quantum AI is one of the very interested and very potential kind of future where we can invest more ourselves in there. There's involve a lot of things in quantum AI, in financials, cybersecurity. For example, once we are having a really amazing kind of a AI environment and all the technology, there will be an higher chances of cybersecurity as well. For example, if we have an amazing algorithm, why not hacker had those one, right? So future of quantum AI is kind of like most exciting, and they can create a really amazing kind of a blockchain principles that nobody can break it. They have a more exciting and transforming frontiers in technology, and by combining these kind of a principles, quantum computing with artificial intelligence, we can unlock a very computational power and problem solving capabilities. For example, it can operate some quantum mechanics that allow process the information in the ways that classical computer cannot. It can handle complex calculation at speeds that would take up about classic computer thousand, if not millions of years to complete. When applied to AI, this means that quantum computers can process, analyze vast data set like unimaginable with unprecedented speed and efficiency. So that's why quantum and AI could dramatically accelerate the development of some machine learning models by allowing them explore and optimize with different variables at same time, and it could lead to more accurate predictions, faster training times, and also ability to solve very complex problems that are currently beyond our technology and also reach. So simulations is one of the thing where we can apply quantum AI in the industry. For example, logistics, finance, and drug discovery. This is a one very important. For example, in the drug discovery optimizations, or in the quantum AI can understand the molecular interactions at an atomic level, and it can lead discovery of some new drugs and treatments much faster than how we are using current methods. And it can solve a lot of computation problems, for example, route optimization or portfolio management, more efficiently than the classic AI. It could lead some significant advancements in area, for example, supply chain management. We are finding the efficient routes or schedules can have a major impact on cost and efficiency. So these kind of a things I think we can implement, and then of course there will be always a concern about the data security, quantum AI can also impact that heavily because they can potentially break current encryption methods, which can lead to a quantum resistant encryption. So, on the flip side, quantum AI could also be used to develop more secure communication channels and systems and encryption techniques, what we are using today. Always, it will be could be a ethical challenge in there as well, where quantum computer is very powerful as well, but it's also for good and ill in both. It can crucial for researchers and policymakers to consider the ethical implications when they allowed to the development in the industry. So climate energy and climate is one of the instrumental development is going on for solving some kind of like a complex energy problem. For example, how to optimize renewable energy sources and reduce the carbon footprints. It can also improve the climate modeling, for example, to understand better and mitigate the impacts of climate changes, and how we can make some changes in our lives and in our environment for the future predictions on these quantum AI models.
Yeah, I'm kind of betting on cybersecurity and power generation to be
Mhm.
where the opportunities are in the next 5, 10 years. And then quantum computing. I think IBM has a quantum computer, maybe Google
Yes,
has a
yes.
quantum
Mhm.
computer. What companies are you aware of that are on the
There's a
bleeding edge of that?
biggest, yeah, IBM, and there's a one in I think in Switzerland probably, and also Meta also trying to do some quantum researches as well. And they did not promise, but there I heard some of the news like they are trying to bring some kind of a quantum AI computer. There was a three of the major things I have heard about as well. But there was a in Colorado there is a quantum AI lab as well. You can go and look into that, what their processes are doing, how they scan the by the atom level, and they have a really good lab. You can go over there and check, and also especially for the cares for the school college cares, they can go there and understanding the possibility, transformative possibility across various industries, and different kind of implementation they we can do.
Yeah, quantum computing just boggles my brain. I've watched some videos on how it works and how it's doing what it's doing, and
Yeah,
it
Google has
just
really
seems insane.
amazing. Yeah, Google also doing really amazing quantum AI research. They have a quantum AI lab, and in 2019, I guess Google has made some headlines, Sycamore, I think, and where they say they achieved the quantum supremacy and they performed calculation in 200 seconds that would have taken world's most powerful supercomputer 10,000 years. That was one of the amazing thing. And then
Yeah.
IBM's quantum AI initiative, and there is a one D-Wave, I think, quantum machine learning. That's a company D-Wave where they are actually specializing in quantum annealing technology that explore how is quantum computers it can be used to tackle AI and machine learning problems, and also is particularly you can say well suited for the optimization problems which are common in AI applications. So they collaborate with different organizations as well to explore their machine learning opportunities. One of the example is they use the quantum computing to optimize some algorithms to task, for example, image recognitions and NLP processing, where AI models can potentially solve a lot of problems much faster with a greater accuracy on the traditional methods. So if you see some of the AI based images, you will still saw some of the flaw if you go deep down. So where quantum machines are trying to make it more kind of like to perfection and accuracy. Microsoft also having some quantum AI researches going on. So there's some leading projects from Microsoft itself. For example, they're researching how quantum AI can apply to cryptography and with a more secure encryption method that is resistant to quantum attacks. And they are also investigating how quantum AI can improve supply chain optimization to make the quick decisions, really complex one, in the faster way, and also doing some kind of like a large data analysis. Then Volkswagen is one of the they have also started doing quantum AI traffic optimization. Basically, they are experimenting with quantum quantum computing to optimize traffic flows in urban areas. And with quantum computing and AI, Volkswagen is their goal is to develop a systems that can predict and also manage traffic congestion more efficiently in the future. In Portugal, they have using some kind of a quantum algorithm to optimize the routes already for public transport buses. That's one of the things they are actively doing, and they have a kind of like a AI driven traffic data in real time, and then they use quantum computing to suggest the right routes, which reduce the congestion, and also it will improve the travel time for the commuters. So this is one of the real time example that is being implemented in Europe right now.
Yeah, there's another interesting way that they're doing these logistics and path of least resistance type studies with mycelium. Have you seen that? Like
Mm.
mushrooms growing, and it'll find the most efficient path just based on where it ends up growing. You have
Oh
to
wow.
put a framework in place, but
Yeah.
yeah, you can like design cities and stuff like that. I have to put up a
Yes.
video.
Yeah.
But yeah, quantum decryption, we've talked about that with Andrew Wilder, and just as far as like password protection, we're gonna have
Hmm.
to do away with passwords and just have it all be facial recognition or fingerprinting or something like that. Because a quantum computer, I feel like it's gonna crack every text-based password out there. They're all gonna be sitting ducks. So, and then as far as like the drug discoveries go,
Hmm.
if a quantum computer with an AI is going to simulate the reactions of all these chemicals together and drugs and how they interact with
Hmm.
inside your body so that they can pretty much run through clinical testing. Like we're both in the Raleigh area, and there's a ton of clinical research
Yes.
organizations around here. I mean, they're probably scared to death, or either trying to transition a lot of their studies over to a quantum AI study. I don't know if they'll ever get to the point where they can bypass human studies and just rely on what the quantum AI clinical research study is, the simulation has put together, but maybe it'll get you 80% there, and then you can focus on that last 20%, the humans can do manually. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's going to be crazy.
Yeah, there is actually some technical complexity in this thing, especially quantum coherence and error rates. One of the biggest challenge in quantum computing, and what is this actually is to maintain then quantum coherence. And basically, quantum bits or qubits, they are highly sensitive to their environment. Even the slightest kind of like interferences can cause errors, and this is called this specific phenomenon called decoherence. And what it does is, as a high error rates make it difficult to perform some kind of like a reliable calculations, which is very crucial to solve some kind of algorithms in AI. So current quantum computers have a limited numbers of qubits, which restricts the complexity of the problems they can solve. For quantum AI to reach its kind of a full potential, we need quantum computers with far more qubits, which presents a significant engineering challenge for so far. With these classical AI algorithms, which are well established, and a developed quantum algorithm that can effectively leverage a kind of like a quantum computing capabilities, is still in an emerging field. There are many potential algorithms for AI that are theoretical and have yet to be practically, implemented, and they are being tested at some scale. We are more into right now, you can say, in hybrid system, like most of the quantum computing system operates in tandem with classical, forming kind of like a hybrid systems. But we definitely need a lot of resource requirement. That's why I would say that people should, invest their time to understand what the quantum computers are, and why they need extremely low temperatures close to the absolute zero to function because of the sophistication and their cooling system and the environment infrastructure itself. So there is some kind of restrictions, but one of the main thing that I would see is here is ethical standpoint. We train the AI system, and it data point biases. This is one of the thing. But for example, if there is a ethical concern, especially in the affecting people's life in the drug discovery, if it lead to be some potential problem in wrong data or error or something. So that's something could be a huge kind of like issue. But that's why they are taking a lot of time, make sure that we are having very good ethical use and purpose for our organization, which are actively working with these kind of organization quantum as well. They add there to mitigate these kind of like AI biases, and also make sure the future of quantum AI is also very reliable, and there's commitment to transparency and fairness.
Yeah, it makes me wonder if like the first quantum generated vaccine, I'm probably not going to trust it. No, no.
Of
Uh,
course, yeah.
right. But
You heard about Neuralink, right?
yeah, I've heard about Neuralink. Yeah, I
Yeah,
saw
yeah.
they were on Lex Friedman's podcast, I believe. He interviewed some people over a long period of time recently about that. It's pretty cool.
It is. It is. It is only for the. I think they started doing the testing for the people with disabilities, with the spinal issues or something. But in the future, some one of my friends was asking if it will be open for everyone, would you go for that? I said I will think twice.
No, I'm not drilling a hole in my head. I'm not
Yeah,
doing it. Yeah,
for
you're going to have to figure out a way to read my mind without drilling a hole in my
yeah.
head. Yeah, I
True.
just want the
True.
Ray-Ban glasses. The Ray-Ban glasses
Mhm.
with the earbuds that's got augmented reality, and maybe it's got some type of even if it had a hat that came with it that could
Mhm.
read my mind, I would go
Yeah,
for something
something
like
I don't
that,
want to
but
touch. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I'm not doing a hole in my skull, in my brain. No.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your companies, Sarah. So
Mhm.
you founded some companies,
Yes.
and I mean that's amazing. So let's talk about these. Tell us about Aridian Technologies.
Basically what was early was doing, I was doing multiple things under same umbrella, which I separated it. So I'm working with the Region Technologies for last 5 years. They are more kind of like a HR initially, staff augmentation, but now they are more kind of like a service providers in Azure. Especially they move into so many things, and we create a kind of like a vision where we can scale our services into the specific kind of a specialization, which is Azure. So we partner with Microsoft. What we do, we provide the whole services. We establish the whole system within the Azure cloud. We make sure the data is safe and within the premises where they want to keep it. And our whole team will provide them a code. It will be, our main vision is to give these kind of a services not based on per person or per hourly charge, but more on the services perspective, which will be more cost effective. And also the all solution will be under one hand. What happened in the past, what we see, let's say you are in HR, is really much better than me, because if you hire some person in a specific project, if the feedback is not good, or if there's other person you hire as the feedback is better, both will give you with a different kind of like angles. They won't communicate, they want something like that. But when you have the whole project within your hand, it's your project as well, then you provide them all the technologies or all the services, more kind of like a centric approach perspective. And once the service is completed, we provide support or something. So this is what Aridian is. We have some clients, Johnson we work with UK DOT system. We have worked with some other small companies as well. We have signed NDA. We can't explain much of that, but yeah, that's one of the things. That's about the Region technology. And the other thing is Ice Innovations. Ice Innovations is more kind of like where we created the apps, a Oculus gaming stations. We created a game Soul, and it's a more kind of like a Minecraft version for the Oculus. Also, one of the venture within Ice Innovation is the Ice, which is a innovative commute endpoint. It's a ride hailing services set to launch by end of this year. And ICE is designed to provide a premium kind of a customer centric transportation experience with personalized approach. And what ICE, apart from other ride hailing services, is our focus on this technology, AI technology, to enhance both driver and passenger experiences. And plus, it won't take you only from point A to point B, but also you can have ability to rent your own car on the same platform. And whenever you land into some new place, our AI and machine learning optimize your preferences, and you will ride matching and ensuring the passengers are getting the more comfortable. And if they are staying stay is more than 3 days, it will give you a kind of like cost optimizing kind of a solution based on your preferences and real-time traffic conditions and everything. So our platform uses the predictive analytics to anticipate some kind of a demand patterns, which helps also fleet management and reducing their wait times for customers. And we are also exploring the integration of electric and autonomous vehicles into our fleet in the future, which is an enhancement perspective after the first launch. And within the ice innovation, I have another app that is upcoming is iChef. iChef is an app that connects customer with individuals who love to cook and want to share their meal and want to deliver from the home. So we will integrate the third party services, for example, DoorDash or Uber Eat or something like that, and they will pick up the food from your home and you will get the homemade cooked food without preservatives and everything to your doorsteps or your office, or even it's for the catering as well. This app is aimed to bringing the homemade food to your doorstep by integrating some kind of a delivery services. But technology perspective, we are using AI personalized meal recommendation based on your preferences, also dietary restrictions and previous orders, and also based on your health care as well. If you want to reduce weight, for example, we will match you there is some nutrition who will give you a whole plan, and you can put your plan over there for local chef to make it for you for whole month, something like that. So we use machine learning algorithm to match customers with the home chefs who are most likely to meet their taste and quality expectations. In the future, we might go for the blockchain based system to ensure the transparency and traceability of the food supply chain, which will provide customer more kind of like a detailed information about the region and preparation of their meals. So there are some of the things that I'm working on right now.
That sounds incredible. I'm thinking of a neighbor right now who would be so good at signing up to be this chef. I would probably opt to order food from her like 3 times a week. Now, is this iChef platform, is this available now?
No, it's not. It will be by end of this year. So it will
Okay.
be bringing homemade meals to your door with iChef. When I started this idea and I started working last year, came out there is another application called Chef, SHEF, but that's a limited. And also the one of the thing they are more kind of like service provider, like Uber Eats. They basically do this delivery services. So they started their own bikes and own kind of like your boxes. They are limited to specific areas. Then when I do work on these kind of things, I also go by the legal policies and the local laws and restrictions over there. So you can be a home cook if you want to be a chef. So what we did in our platform, we limited for each chef for 5 dishes a day or something. So in more than five, they will have we are going by the subscription model. So after that they can subscribe, and they want to make more than 10 or 20 dishes, they have to get a kitchen outside of their houses, which we will go with the FDA, bringing in the law and FDA their regulations into the app as well, because that will be a kind of like it's a very innovative, a kind of like efficient user centric kind of a solution, but there is always restrictions.
But this is not something that you're gonna involve a lot of restaurants in, like, restaurants won't sign up for this. This is more individuals who love
Mhm.
to cook,
Yes.
that wanna cook for a lot of people and make a living doing that. I mean, it sounds like a neat idea, but yeah, the laws would be tough because if you're gonna make food in volume, you're right, you have to have it in, like, a commercial
Mhm.
kitchen type thing, but there are a
Yes.
lot of those out there that aren't even utilized, so all they gotta do is
Mhm.
find one.
Yeah, if you remember, when Airbnb came up, the house renting was not an option. There was when something come, you do some kind of extension or some kind of a, flexibility in law. Because if you see, why idea came in my mind is because of when I was doing research on my life expectancy, and one of the biggest healthcare factor was the obesity and the reliance of the outside food. And myself, I have as a personal experience as well, because I have an intolerance to the frozen food. If I eat frozen food, and I found that a lot of people had those, but people didn't know that. That's because of the preservatives they add in the food, and automatically when you freeze it, there is some kind of a bacteria pop up over there anyway. So when they warm it up for you, it's more than 100 degree, and it warm is it died, but still it go inside your body. What it does, we never know. There's no research happen in it. Why not we opt in for fresh food? Why not we opt in organic food? We can do that. We can have a fresh food every day, and there are a lot of people who want to generate an income as well. So let them give them an opportunity and eat fresh food, because if you have a health, you can do anything. You can be efficient, you can be innovative, you can be, any productive thing you want to do in your life. So instead of spending more wealth and more, revenue on the medicines and healthcare, all the stuff, so it's better to focus on your nutrition and bring better food at home and fresh, and without any kind of like a preservatives that in the future it could end up with some kind of a really bad results.
Yeah, there are some services, like there's a company right up the road here that I went in and I was looking, I was like, "Oh, this could be a good idea." They're pre-made meals and there's all these
Mhm.
options, and then I start looking at like some of the ingredients and I'm like, "What the they're using seed oils, they're using processed grains, like this
Yeah.
is not even grass-fed." And I was like, I'm not doing that. Who's going to buy this? It's not going to make anybody any more healthier than they already are. It's just like, so I would want something that, and I'm an OMAD faster.
Okay.
I just eat one meal a day, dinner, right? The rest of the time
Okay.
I'm fasting. So I would just need one
Intermittent
meal.
fasting.
Then
Mm-hmm.
I would want, variety of whole foods, no seed oils, no processed grains,
Mm-hmm.
no gumming or
Yeah.
baking agents, no preservative, artificial crap that I can't pronounce, right? Only grass fed, pasture raised eggs and meats and wild caught fish,
Yes.
organic things cooked in grass fed, organic butter and things like that. And that's so hard to find. I can't, bless my wife's heart. She's such a good cook. But we don't share the same standards when it comes from what you cook with,
Mm.
whether it be the flour or what kind of oil you cook with. She's not about all that. She's not going to nerd out on whatever the seed oil is. Like she doesn't even believe in any of that stuff. So bless her heart. I can't, force her to cook
Of course.
these
Yeah.
standards that I want, but I could program this app,
Yes.
to deliver
Yeah.
this type of food that I really want. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
and also there is a one more feature in the app itself, that if somebody is not comfortable that what are you using, or some people they are sensitive of information that other people provide. For example, I don't believe that if you are saying there's a grass fed, there will be a 20% cost reduction if you give your own food. For example, I will deliver my whole food grocery list to your home. You have to cook for me. So this way you are making sure that your food is really what you order for. It will, for example, if you are ordering a pasta, for example, and it's cost about $15 per meal, you say, okay, I don't want you to, choose the ingredients. I will send you the ingredients. Now the cost will be maybe 8 or 9 or $10 for you, because you already provided all the, now only the services charges are for the chef's own price, time and all this energy he's going to be invest in the cooking the food, but the ingredient will be yours. So this is a one of the option if somebody want to avail it, if somebody is sensitive of these kind of a choices. So that could be also one of the thing we can integrate in within the app.
That's cool. I like it. And then we'll go back to the ice ride and rentals. So
Mhm.
you said it's going to be available at the end of this year. And I watched the documentary or the movie about Uber and how basically had to start in certain
Yeah.
cities and they grew per city. And then they had to fight
Oh
basically
yeah.
the government for every city along the way. So
Yes.
what's your plan to roll out the service?
So thanks for Travis that he did a lot of improvement for us. He cleared the ground for us to for further apps. There's a lot of things of flexibility. Even it's because we are launching first in North Carolina. Governor Cooper he signed the legal agreements in 2015 on any app that will be same like Uber, and also Turo is already out. So if you can rent your car, so what we are doing, we are merging Uber and Turo at one platform,
Right.
plus some kind of like a personalized experience. So there may be some challenges by bringing two things at once in a one place, because if you see Turo, if you are putting your car on rent, you can't put on for Uber. So this is what their policy is. But bringing an app where you can do both of the things, probably some could be a legal issues or hiccups, but yeah, I'm ready for that. I'm okay with that. I think it's a part of anything you work. There is a risk in every opportunity, but there, I believe, this is my theory. I don't want anybody to agree with that, but I believe in this thing. If there is a risk, there isn't a problem, there must be a solution. There is a nothing problem that doesn't have a solution. It could be possible solution is not something that you want, but there is a solution for everything. I have worked with some legal team as well, to make sure that in the future, if something like that happen, how to tackle those kind of problems. Some steps we are taking in advance to make sure the North Carolina state is aware, or they are okay with these kind of policies, and how we can make some changes in the bylaws or something like that.
Interesting. Yeah, I could see myself using a rental platform, but when it comes to putting my own vehicle on there, I would be really scared about how somebody would treat my car. 'Cause I've got a
Mhm.
2005 Chevy Tahoe, right?
Okay.
We're 1 year away from this thing being a classic.
Hmm.
And yeah, I love this thing. It's like a Z71 edition, and
Awesome.
I wouldn't let anyone drive this thing. This is my
Yes,
baby. You know what I mean?
of course. Yeah, yeah. I always have a van in my house. Always. I drive my Mercedes E68 AMG. I don't want anybody to touch it. So I'm
Ooh,
not gonna
nice
put on
car.
the rental, but for van, okay. I would love to, earn some money from out of that.
Yeah. Yeah, don't let them touch the AMG, they'll drive it like they stole it, so,
Oh, yes.
yeah. Iridian Technology sounds cool, so you're getting into the staffing and
Yeah,
professional services, so we might have to do a collab because I started my
sure.
own agency as well, Hyperdrive Recruiting, so I may need your services at some point in time. That'd be cool to do a project together.
Yeah, definitely. Yep. We have a whole team which are expert in AWS. We recently started having some folks who are expert in AWS, but we had a very good Azure team, which we are expert in App Logic, Logic Apps, and Azure Services. Fabric is one of the new things. Microsoft Fabric, Power BI. These are some of the things that I'm really good in. Our team is really good in that kind of like innovative solutions. So yeah.
I've heard of Fabric from Daniel Miessler. It's like an AI tool based in
Yeah.
Linux command line. What is Microsoft Fabric?
So, Microsoft Fabric is a centralized solution where you can store your data, you can transform your data, you can also build a report on that. So, it's a kind of like a significant innovation from Microsoft itself. So, it handles your all enterprise management and analytics. You can say it's a unified platform where you can just simply streamline all of your organizational data, make it easier to integrate it within the system you want to do it. You can manage it, and you can also analyze through across the enterprise. So it's basically a comprehensive data platform, brings together different kind of the data, various sources under one umbrella, and it is designed to support different kind of a tool set. It can support AWS. It also do data ingestion. It also do the storages. You can see your data ingestion pipeline. You can see the storages itself, and also it transformed them into the advanced analytics, machine learning, and also visualization. So the platform is built on the top of the Microsoft Cloud infrastructure, Azure, and it integrates seamlessly with other services, which are Synapse, Azure Synapses, Power BI, and Microsoft 365. So it does the data integration really good with the Synapses notebook. You can integrate the other tools as well within it. Also, for example, Data Factory or something. But if you have a data source, premises, cloud base, even kind of like it could be ingested, integrated, and transformed, and it have a wide range of data connectors, even Snowflake as well, and also integration tools as well. And data lake integration is one of the supportive services that they provide to organizations to store and manage. And also you can build Purview, which is data governance analytics, over the as a catalog to the MS Fabric. Because what was happening, why they brought this solution to the market, because there was a lot of environments where people use that hybrid issues. For example, if I have S3 buckets, and then I want to transform using Synapse, and I want to generate my reports into Tableau, there was a lot of slowdown in processing, because this is a hybrid environment where you are, for example, you have a one S3 buckets data, Excel files, and you have a Snowflake, and you want to integrate with the Synapse and build your report with a Tableau. Cost was very high. Same thing you can do, let's say in 10,000 per month, but you are paying with these three services about 50,000 per month because of the subscription. Now Microsoft bring all this stuff into one umbrella, same ease of use, same kind of a collaboration and scalability, make it kind of like a powerful tool for organization to get more data driven. Especially it's a good for not every organization, but if there is an organization which is managing a vast amount of data with across multiple kind of like a sources or departments, and they also do the advanced analytics, is a best platform to use it. I'm not sure if there is any tool that is competed, but probably it will be coming soon. But yeah, this is one of the kind of a game changer in the world of enterprise data management analytics.
Nice. Tell us a little bit about the other platform that you have is called Sprawberry.
So, Sprawberry is the future of next year. We are trying to bring it on. It's a little bit complex concept, but it's I will send you a very kind of like an easy way. Sprawberry is a system where we will bring back the barter system to the market. Let's say you are a recruiter and you really don't want to spend so much money into the gym session or something. On Strawberry you will find a gym instructor who is looking for some other gym instructor for his company, so you can exchange your services. Same like, for example, if you go to American Airlines, you have a points and you change the points into the miles or something like that. Same technology, but we were using the points. Now gym instructor has 10,000 points, you have 10,000 points. Let's imagine you have bought it, or you have initially been given by using the application you accumulated so far. You will exchange your service. You will say, okay, I will let you give interview, I will schedule 4 or 5 gym instructor interviews for you, and can you give me a 2 sessions at a gym, right? And then you give me instruction training for 2 hours. So you will exchange these kind of a services. So basically, you are creating a customer relationship. Strawberry is more kind of like a delivering the barter system with the points itself. It's kind of like a little complicated, especially when you are using the point system and making it as a, because there is so many services, different prices, how you match it. So that's what we are doing, a lot of data searches, make sure it will be cost effective for everyone. So the main purpose behind it to use of your wealth. If you have something in yourself, you are providing a service and you want to get another service without spending money and saving the money, this is a kind of like a very secure and kind of a cost effective solution for everyone. So this is a one of the app, is a barter system. There's so many apps in market, but they are full of flaws. They don't have a point system, they are very slow, they're not efficient. So we are trying to put more kind of like AI based solution, automatically match you with the right services you are looking for. You can also put your events over there, and let's say if I have a concert ticket and I don't want to go, I couldn't go, something happened, I can put as a trade over there, and I want to get another concert probably in the future one with someone else, I will just swap it. So it's a swapping service. So that's why we name it Strawberry. Straw is something which is connect and spread all over there, and we use a strawberry as icon. So it's a future, but most priority is iChef and ice right now, but Strawberry in the future whenever it comes. So I will more kind of like advertise and speak about that.
Good job. You know what? We might need that. I'm telling you, as AI comes on the scene, it starts slowly picking off jobs, and we're all trying to figure
Mhm.
out what what we're going to do with ourselves. We may have to rely on a barter system like Strawberry, just to
Mm.
get anything. Because I don't know, we might all run out of money, and that'd be the only thing left.
Yeah, and also a main vision behind this specific one was community service. Let's say if I have 10,000 points, for example, my rate is 10,000 points, right? And I'm giving someone my services for 10,000, but I see someone is need or some kind of like I can do community help, I can volunteer my service, and the person who will do more volunteer, we assign that person as iconic of the month because he did more volunteer services. His name will be featured in front of the app whenever you open the app. So this kind of a things we are also adding, and there will be a lot of volunteer opportunities. So these are kind of a like vision behind the community service, and also make sure that everyone is having that kind of a space where they can achieve their goals more easily if there is a money is something that is stopping them to move forward.
That's awesome. So you're big into AI. What advice would you give entry level folks who want to find a career in AI?
Yes, actually, I do mentorship as well. I used to do with Big Brother and Sisters as a mentor, but right now I'm working with some other mentorship program as well. To start a career in AI, the journey is very exciting, but it's also challenging as well because it is a constantly evolving. It offers endless opportunities for those who are passionate about technology and innovation. So I would say for everyone, I always say the learn the basics, start building the solid foundations and understanding of the fundamentals of AI, machine learning, and data science. Courses in mathematics, statistics are very important, and programming, of course. There's a backbone of most of the AI technologies. Key topics to focus is to include linear algebra, calculus, probability, and algorithms. And Python, R, and Java is crucial. Python in particular because it's widely used in AI and has a very rich ecosystem of libraries, for example, TensorFlow, PyTorch, and there's a lot of skit learning, and they was very essential for building the AI models. And the other thing I would say to go more in research is like hands-on experience, works on some projects. Theory is important, but hands-on experience is something they can, for example, start working on small AI project. For example, develop a simple chatbot. I also write on Substack, and I once I write a specific features article where I give an example like as a AI learner, when you start learning, what should you do as a developer? You can develop a small chatbot, build a predictive model, or create a recommendation system. This is some of the example. I write the code as well for that so people can learn and understand how they become a productive. So these kind of projects will help you apply what you have learned so far and build a portfolio and showcase your skills. We are in a very lucky age where we have GitHub and different other showcase skills, HackerRank, LeetCode. These are the kind of places where you can put your code and contribute to the open source AI projects as well. That's a great way to gain some practical experiences and connect with the AI community. As I mentioned, the GitHub is a one of the full of projects where beginners can start by fixing bugs or adding some new features and also understanding the AI ecosystem. As I mentioned earlier as well, it's changing a lot. We are still getting a lot of data. It's important to stay updated with the latest research, tools, and trends, follow a lot of AI blogs, attend the webinars, and read research papers. Research papers are really very important to keep your knowledge current and also based on its backup with the data. And familiarize yourself with the AI frameworks. Like there was so many frameworks in the market and tools like PyTorch, Keras, and TensorFlow. These frameworks are actually very important because they are widely used in industry, and also it familiarity will make you kind of like more attractive to employers as well. And focus on your niche is something like it's not very important, but it is important something like if you want to specialize in a particular area, for example NLP, if you want to more focus on natural language processing, or if you want to go into computer vision or maybe reinforcement learning, something like that. So specializing in AI allow you to become an expert. As I mentioned about the deepfake, that's the one of the specific domain as well. So it can open a lot of target job opportunity as well. You can work in healthcare, finance, robotics. Robotics is very interesting to me. I'm doing a lot of research on that one. Robotics and neuroscience is my favorite topic too. I can talk for hours on that. And also seek mentorship, do the networking, find a good mentor who is experienced in AI. It could be incredibly beneficial for you. A mentor can guide through their learning processes and help navigate some challenges that they came across, so you can save your time and life, and also offer advice in the career development as well. Focus on your communication skills if you can, and do that, get the advanced degrees. Certifications are very important in AI because especially from the recognized institutions, this can help you validate your skills and make you more kind of like a competitive in job market. Consistency is the key. Be consistent and patient. So, and for anything, so then you can get to the realistic expectations.
Would the advice be the same if you were like for people later in career that
Mhm.
maybe their job might get eliminated by AI? Would you suggest that they transition their skill set into more of an AI skill set, or what would your recommendation be
Yes.
for people later in career?
I think not only starting your journey in AI, but also learning more about gaining a hands-on experience, build a strong foundation, not only for the entry level people, but also for everyone like myself. I stay committed to learning. I still learn. I still go to HackerRank and LeetCode and add my codes over there and participate in the coding. Not necessary you have to win all the time. So sometimes failures are actually one of the key to success as well. So keep coding. Coding is also very important, not for just for your work, but also for your mental logical foundation. My son, he's 7. I sent him coder school for 2 years, and I have seen he's not an any technological expert or something. He's not going to be write any program, but the thing is that it create a logical flow in your brain. which basically, if you understand brain, if you read neuroscience, you will understand that learning new thing, how it impacts your neurons and neurocells, and it kind of like a broad mindedness in your own brain, and you can learn more better. It's kind of like a muscle. You know, more you train your muscle, you more you get better and strong. So I think learning for everyone is very important, especially whether if you are in medical field, even if you are in HR, for example. You don't necessarily have to, be a coder, be learning the coding, but at least you should understand the foundation. If you talk to someone to hire someone in the future as a developer, for example, if you don't know about it, how you gonna, access that specific tool set? So I think some kind of like a learning for everyone is in need of this time, especially in AI, because even if you are a cook or chef, learn because AI can give you better recipes with the nutritions. And one of the funny thing I will tell you, because I am an analyst, I do a lot of analysis, even for the simple piece of bread. I went to store, there was a two breads. I do also intermittent fasting, so I was thinking which has a less calories plus also less carbohydrates. Says over there, but both were the same. Then what I did was a multigrain. So I was thinking which one should I get. So what I took a picture and I sent to Meta AI. I used that one, the Llama 3 that recently launched. I give both information over there and I say which one is better for me. I'm doing intermittent fasting. It's tell me each or every nutrition thingy over there and tell me this one is the correct way if you are doing intermittent fasting. And I was not going to choose that for sure. But after that, it changes my mind. So learning is AI, and not only learning coding, but also understanding to use these kind of tools is one of very important skills for everyone.
No doubt. I need the glasses. I need the AR glasses so that I can look at the bread and just talk to the AI when it's on my
Yeah,
face.
I bought those Ray-Ban Meta one, and I thought that whatever I say, they will answer me. They only answer what is in data has been trained, but still, this I think I need to update it or something. I want to whatever come in front of me. I took a snap and I asked you, what is that? So, what is flower quality? What is specific plant? So, yeah, that's not far away. I think there's just something privacy policies that stop that to doing so, but I think they are still working on that.
Future's crazy. My daughter, it's funny that your 7-year-old goes to the coder school because that's an idea. There's one like so close to my house, so maybe I should try to get my daughter
Yeah.
involved in it. I was thinking that because the whoever the CEO of NVIDIA said, you don't need to learn how to code anymore, but that may be true. You don't need to, but you're right. It teaches you how to think in a very
Hmm.
methodical way.
Yes.
So it is
Logical
still
way,
important.
especially. Yeah.
Yeah, logical way, exactly.
Hmm.
Yeah, it might be a good idea. We're not gonna give up on coding just yet, so that's
Yes,
good.
yeah.
Um,
Process is always is because if AI is there, it can tell you everything, but you have your brain too. You have to keep it sharpened all the time.
yeah. Ever since, like, when we first met, I feel like you were a little more reserved, and now you seem to have hit the confidence,
Yeah.
lottery, and now you have a personal brand and everything. What was it that allowed you to shift into more of a personal brand and a
Mhm.
CEO type mentality that you have?
Yeah, the people who know me 10 years ago, they don't believe it's the same person. They say, are you become AI or something like that? So the thing is that I had a really very good mentor, and he told me about a lot of things. And I have always this opportunity to learn from others, from my failures, from others. So I learned two things that actually take me kind of like, because I'm a kind of like introvert kind of personality, but I move into the shift myself because I started communicating a lot. I started opening up a lot, and communication and consistency. These were the two keys that make me success towards the confidence, especially if you are a communicator. All the information are not on the theory. All the information, if you are doing PhD or something, everything is not on the research. When you talk to someone, understanding their angle and also accept that with open mindedness, like for example, if you are telling me something and I learned something from you, right? So I am adding some more theory on my brain. This way you can be more confident that, oh, you have this information. If you don't have information, you won't be confident to talk. So I started getting a lot of networking with a lot of people, talking a lot, and also be consistent on whatever I'm doing. It could be anything. For last 3 years, I'm continuously doing strength training, going to gym every second day. So 2 days I take rest, but for 4 or 5 days I go to gym, and that's also increase a lot of productivity and kind of like I can also start learning neuroscience as well. So that make me understanding how our brain works and how we can make it more better. So those principles basically I start applying in my life for the major changes in Ernst Young when I started that. And my mentor was over there. So where from I start learning to, towards success. So yeah, here I am.
Well, I'm a fan, and I mean, it's awesome what you've done, and yeah, I'm rooting for you. You let me know how I can help you.
Sure, definitely, definitely. We all, this is how we, we, when we meet, I have a belief in this thing. When we meet someone, there is a purpose of that, to collaboration, to help each other, to, work together. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'd love that. So I want to give you a chance to ask a recruiter any question that you want, like a ask me anything session. Do you have any questions for a recruiter?
Yeah. Will you recruit me for any other project in future?
I will do my best. You will be
Okay.
at the forefront of my mind, especially if anybody's like, "Hey, we need a consultant to come in and help us with Microsoft Fabric. You know anybody?" I'll be like, "Actually, I do.
Oh, yes.
I got the
Yes,
best
definitely.
person ever for this."
So when I was working with EY, I worked with HR as well, where we were hiring a engineer. And in 6 months, we interviewed about 8 to 9 people within the organization, and three of them give us the date, and on the date of joining they just say no, we get the better offer. So then we have to start the again, all this process. So how you handle these kind of experiences? Because I was really lost in that process and I give up. I say, okay, go give someone else this kind of a thing. I can deal with that.
Yeah, wow. So if you're a company that is
Mhm.
routinely seeing that, you obviously going to have to adjust your salary ranges to meet the
Mhm.
market, right? Because if you're coming into competitive situations and losing every time, how many times are you going to lose before you're like, okay, we're going to have to up our salary range here for this
Yeah.
role? But if you're a candidate and you're dealing with a lowball offer from a company, we're seeing a lot of that nowadays because companies are putting out lowball offers because the market's cooling down and they're aware of
Mhm.
what's going on, and there's people that have been looking for a while. So the thing I would recommend for candidates is to just, if you get a lowball offer, just relax, right? Don't get
Mhm.
upset, right? Don't take it personal. The company isn't evil, right? It's not that
Mhm.
the company is evil. We have to see it for what it is, right? It's a test.
Yeah.
They're just testing to see if you may accept it. So,
Mhm.
and more than likely what's kind of happening there is there's one decision maker in the process that kind of saw this request come through from the hiring manager. Hey, we'd like to make so and so an offer, and they may send it to HR and copy some people. And other people have to get involved at that point, right? HR, finance, maybe somebody in executive leadership. And it only takes one person to say,
Mhm.
huh, that's what they're looking for. This number looks kind of high. Do we know if they would take less? And everybody's like, nah, I don't know. They just put this number in the box. And it's like, well, what if they were just shooting for the moon here? What if they just saw our salary range here posted
Mhm.
in the job ad and they're just quoting the highest number? Like,
Yeah.
why don't we try to offer them 20K less and see what happens? Okay, fine. So when you
Mhm.
look at it from that may have been what happened, and the company's not evil, they're just testing you. So you can
Yeah.
approach it like, so if you do get that offer, your gut instinct is, oh, I wasted so much time in this interview. I'm
Mhm.
shocked. I'm offended. And you're so turned off. You don't even want to work at that company anymore. Hide those feelings, bury
Mhm.
those feelings, right? And approach it like you're shopping on eBay or Amazon, right? On eBay, there's a bid. You can bid a lower number, or you can click this
Yeah.
number and
Buy
buy it
it.
right now,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
And Amazon is all about, one click buy now at this number, and it
Yes.
makes it super easy. So you do kind of want to help this company figure out
Mhm.
what your one click buy now number is, right? They put a bid in, but this is not your buy now number, right?
Yeah.
So now you get to take your time, right? So you can reply with something kind of like this, right? I'm excited and grateful for the offer. Since
Mhm.
it is on the low end, I'll consider it as I continue interviewing with other companies next week, right? I plan to
Mhm.
have a final decision by, the end of so and so, pick a date next Friday. All right.
Yeah.
If you'd like for me to cancel all my other interviews and accept the
Mhm.
offer with your company right now, I'm expecting this number or higher. I hope we can agree on a number that's fair for both parties, but either way, I'm grateful for the offer. And just leave it like that, right? You didn't decline
Yes.
it. You're just not accepting it right now at this bid. And then you get to see what they're going to do now, right?
Yes, this is really very amazing, advice, especially the part when you say that if you want me to cancel my upcoming, interviews, you are showing two things. One of the transparency and also very good communication skill. And also on the other side, if the hiring people, they really need someone and they want to see, okay, let me do a little bit negotiate on the price, the person is worth it. So they will also, you can then like opening a door for a very good positive communication endpoint. So this is amazing advice. I really love it. I love that how
Awesome.
you paraphrase it. If you want me to cancel the future ones, this is the what my timeline is.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Well, thank you. And you use that tactic whether you have these other interviews or not, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
really all you're doing is just delaying your decision by a week or a week and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And then you may get to that next Friday and no other offers have come in, no better offers have come in. And maybe at that point you want to put a serious counter down, or
Yeah,
maybe that's your best offer and you're going to accept it, right? But at least
exactly.
they're testing you and then you also tested them.
Yep.
But the main thing is don't get offended and upset by it because
Mm-hmm.
they're not evil by doing it, right?
Oh, of course, yeah. That's why I say open communication and broad minding and listening others with open mind is one of the big statement. People think it's just saying listening other with open mind. No, you have to be patient. You have to be a little bit tolerant and trying to understand why other people are using this specific kind of argument. Maybe there is a point in that, and a lot of things get easy after that. This is what I have seen. I being very argumentative in my one of the phase of my life, but I have learned that instead of being self-defensive, just listen to the person, and actually you start learning and stay committed on your that learning process, and you get more better yourself, personally and also professionally. So this is one of the example you just give. Amazing.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, there's a life hack. Don't take anything personal.
Yep.
What would Jesus do, right? What would Jesus do? That's something I follow. I don't know. Do you have a saying like that? Because I know you're from Pakistan. I don't know what
Hmm.
your religious, leanings are, but do you have a saying like that?
Like what?
Like, what would Jesus do, right? Because you're trying to approach every situation with a mindset of forgiveness.
Yeah, no specific this one, but yeah, in our religion, I'm Muslim, so forgiveness is one of the things that we focus a lot on. Even in the version in Quran and Hadith, they say a lot to focus on, forgiveness. If somebody has done even the wrong thing with you, try to understand from their perspective and forgive them and give them a second chance as well. So that's, I think, a lot of religion, even in Hinduism as well. They also, their books also promote this kind of like a learning. Yeah.
I think it's in all their religions, kind of. They
Yes.
all have a
I think
similar
religions
message.
always tell positive things. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, is there anything else that you wanted to talk about today that we didn't get the chance to chat about?
No, I also want to hear your story a little bit, maybe more briefly, that how you come into this specific, your own company, podcasting, how you come into that point, what make you go into this specific process. This is amazing. I love your podcast. Actually went through some of those. I'm not ADHD, but I had some other things to do, so I got distracted and went over there. But but that was just so amazing. I hear a lot of podcasts, especially related to quantum AI and also some of the neuroscience related as well. Every night I spend 1 or 2 hours, instead of I watching some Netflix. I at least 4 to 5 times in a week, or at least 4 times in a week, I hear podcasts, different podcasts, and I just try. And it's a really very amazing learning opportunities. Like in the past, they were books. They were talking to someone or something. Podcast is a one of the new way to to learn and understand. So how you come into this line?
Yeah, good question. I am a YouTube junkie and I follow so many podcasts and
Okay.
I love podcasts because I mean, you just learn so much. And I was posting content on LinkedIn that was more like recruiter content, silly recruiter
Hmm.
videos, and kind of things that were seem to be getting a lot of attention from the recruiting community, but not so much like the clients, right? The
Yeah.
my target audience, my ICP, So I was like, well, I need to do something for the cybersecurity and software engineering community.
Yeah.
And, what better way than to do a podcast and interview people and let them
Amazing.
share their story. And then I get to ask all the questions that I'm curious about. And then other people may learn something from it. It's like, there's no way to lose here.
Yes.
And I think the fact that I listen to so many podcasts just kind of gave me the courage, because some podcasts are great. Some of them aren't great. It depends on the guest and the
You
mood
learn
and the
from their
vibe.
mistakes. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And nobody cares. If
Yeah,
they don't like the
exactly.
podcast, you just scroll right by it. Not a big deal.
Yeah.
So
That's my favorite quote. Who cares?
right. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Now, one of my favorite quotes are, even if 99% of the people on earth hated you and everything that you did, that would still leave at least 70 million people that loved you and everything that you
Yeah,
did.
you're
So
right.
just
That's a
focus
positive
on,
outlook. Hmm.
yeah, just focus on that and you'll be
Yes.
fine.
Yeah,
Uh,
you're right. You're right. I have a same kind of a mindset. If everybody hears me, there is a someone who loves me for sure, and I love myself. Don't think about others.
right. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, you love yourself and that spills
Yes,
over. If your cup is full, then you got enough to spill over and maybe someone else's cup will fill up just because of your extra, right?
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, and as far as like the company goes, Hyperdrive Recruiting, I've been wanting to start my own company for years. I mean, this probably the thought of it started pre-COVID. I was gonna wait and do it after my kids were all
Hmm.
in public school and my wife could start working again, and that would relieve a little bit of pressure there.
Hmm.
But the job market, especially in tech, it's been a rough year, and I was cut from JobBot just due to production, and I fully expected it to happen,
Okay.
just because of the situation. And I was kind of resistant to switching to a different industry because I love
Mhm.
tech. That's it. I didn't want to do accounting and finance. I didn't want
Got
to
it.
do legal. I didn't want to shift, and I
Yeah.
just went down with the ship,
Hmm.
and I'm gonna ride the ship back up to the surface too whenever it comes back, because it will come back. So I was gonna do it anyway. I just chose to go ahead and do it sooner rather than when I really wanted to do it later.
Hmm.
And I've been the happiest I've ever been.
That's great. That's super awesome. Yeah, because I love the name Hyperdrive is give
Oh
you
yeah.
kind of like understanding. Like it tells the whole story. What is going to be do. So it's kind of like positive as well, and also it give you some kind of energy and into say, okay, yeah, I need to go there. That kind of a feeling.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah.
are you a Star Wars fan at all?
I wish I would be. I only watched one movie so far, and I love that in theater. And but I don't get time to do that. I'm
Okay.
so kind of a distractor. Whenever I open the TV, and sometimes I think that I'm going to watch today. Star opening. I will subscribe as well to the one of the channel where all these Star Wars movies come. But every time I open there's some YouTube kind of a like same like your podcast came up. I said, okay, let me listen this first. And then I go. So, but
Yes. So
yeah,
many
but
things.
I love the any kind of like a fiction stories. I love to watch that in theater only. I watch sometime at home as well. There was a one recent was going some kind of like related to the snow or something. I forget the name. I watched that last time. Oh, I love that as well. But I like fictional a lot.
Yeah, I love the
New
Star Wars.
technologies also
You know,
came up. Yeah, with the
anything
space and
sci-fi,
technology.
really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, sci-fi fiction exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, Star Wars just happens to fall into the sci-fi and want to be one of the earlier ones, the first ones that I saw. But yeah, most of the stuff that's here in my office either came from my mother-in-law's attic, or
Oh,
like my parents
wow.
found at like a thrift shop, and they're like, "Hey, they got all this Star Wars stuff here. Do you want this?" And I'm like,
Nice.
I was trying to build what my background was going to be,
Uh-huh.
because it was just a wall full of old paint cans. This was like this is a room inside of my garage. Like if I go
Wow.
through the door right
Uh-huh.
here, that's
Yeah,
my garage, and you walk around to the kitchen. The kitchen is like basically right in front of me, um,
that's awesome.
on the other
It
side.
shows your artistic side of yours. You are
Yeah,
like, Yeah, it's kind of like you are not only left brain, you are right brain as well. So it's kind of like a mix. That's great. I am also do painting as well because it give you some kind of relaxment. And I see that you find your relaxment in there. This is so amazing. I love that. I love that idea.
Yeah, thank you. It was fun putting it
It has a
together,
lot of
and
energy as well. You know, when you see these colors, especially raw purplish, I love that.
it stands out in a video, I think. And then every single person I've ever met that's actually in cybersecurity also
Mhm.
loves Star Wars. They may not love the Disney Star Wars, like the new stuff, but everybody loves
Mhm.
the classic Star Wars,
Okay, yes, yeah, yeah.
everybody. So yeah, you got to watch them. You got to
I'm
watch
gonna
them,
watch.
Sarah.
Yep.
Let me know your thoughts whenever you get to at least the original 6, and watch them in
Okay.
order that they came out, and then
Okay.
watch 7, 8, 9, and then you can get into some of the new Disney shows and such. Uh,
Okay.
but
Sure, I will do that.
my
And
favorites
in the
were
next
actually,
one, yeah, in the next talk, we will cover some kind of a Star Wars as well, for sure. I will tell you
yeah.
where I am. Yep,
All
definitely.
right. Well, hey, I think I've kept you long enough. It's been fun. Thank you for
Yeah, it
coming on, and
is.
been a great conversation. How can people find you, Sarah?
LinkedIn, I live over there.
Okay.
And on LinkedIn, I have everything. So I write blogs over there. You see my newsletter over there, TechSpectrum, plus my website, sarahchoudhary.com. That has everything. I write blog and also do Substack as well. So I write some kind of AI Frontier is Substack name where I put all my articles related to the AI and how be so productive in that domain.
Very cool. Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm gonna subscribe to all of it. I think I went through your
Sure.
website, clicked on every site, and followed you and subscribed to everything that you had.
Thank
And
you.
yeah,
Thank you
yeah,
so much.
I'm a fan. So continued success to you, and I can't wait to put this out. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thank you so much, Blake, for your time. And I really appreciate you all the questions. And you are like one of the really, a person that I love to like heartfelt thanks to, you on this
Oh,
one. So thank you so much. And hope we talk soon and work together as well. Once ICE will
likewise.
start running, I'm going to move forward to looking to Hyperdrive to get my folks out here.
Oh, I'd love to help that. Yeah, that would
Sure.
be 100% on board. So yeah,
Awesome.
I'm excited. So
Awesome.
thank you, Sarah. Take care.
Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.